is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags. We got some new Chaos Space Marines detachment releasing today, this morning. Woke up and I got the Discord blowing up saying, hey, new Chaos looks crazy. So I haven't looked at it yet. I kind of did a quick preview of it, but I still haven't read deeply into it, which we're going to read now for you. I went live last time. We're going to go recording it, and then I'll just post it on YouTube as a kind of like a live thing, but not live, but I'll be there to chat with you guys. So if you guys want to read it or post any comments right now, you can. But what we got coming up, I did rank number 2 for Chaos Space Marine players in the world last year. So this has been super exciting, waiting for this to come out. We have so many GTs coming up. Mike's been practicing for a GT in Maryland. We have Lone Star Open coming up in July. We have ACO coming up in June, I believe. So Atlantic City Open, Lone Star Open, we have Nova Open, and then we have Las Vegas Open, all coming up in the summertime. So that's gonna be insane. Chaos is definitely gonna be huge, especially when the new Codex comes out. Now, my question before you even get into the video is, have you guys been seeing new Codexes coming out and being toned down significantly compared to the beginning of 10th edition? When 10th edition came out, codexes were freaking insane, data sheets were insane, but now it seems like every codex that's coming out is getting toned down pretty significantly. Let's see if Chaos actually gets toned down that much. Or what are they going to do with dark packs, all that stuff. So we have a couple detachments in here, a couple enhancements, a couple units, stuff like that. If you guys are new to the channel, definitely hit the subscribe so these videos actually pop up for you guys. We're so close to 10,000 subscribers. And then once we hit that $1,000 mark for Patreon, we're going to be doing a huge Patreon giveaway, a ton of merch, ton of prizes, ton of models for everybody that wins. The merch is up on Discord, so if you guys want those widgets, they're legit. We use them every single game. They're super bright, so it's really hard to lose them. Dice, models, and all the stickers you guys can imagine, and obviously Discord has all the memes in the world if you want to go join that. So let's get into the video. So you guys can see right behind me we have the Warhammer website. What can the new Codex Chaos Space Marine detachment do for you? So we're supposed to get 8 detachments, which is kind of nuts. It's a lot. So I'm looking out for the Night Lord's detachment. That's my detachment. I really want that to be good. So I'm going to skip over a bunch of this. If I miss anything, please let me know. The biggest thing is I've been running Chaos Cultists with the Abaddon full rerolls, all that stuff, and supposedly they're not Abaddon's rerolls anymore. It's basically they're the damned, so Abaddon doesn't give them full rerolls. So my list just kind of went out the fucking window. So now we have to run a more standardized Chaos Space Marine list, which it's not my forte, but I guess we'll have to do what we have to do. So Whirling Deceptors detachment for Ancients is modeled after the Alpha Legion. Nice. So this is going to be freaking awesome. So the Alpha Legion detachment, these Masters of Misdirection can give a select few troops Infiltrator's ability. Holy shit. Allowing them to creep close before battle begins. Dude, having Infiltrate on like a full, I don't know, 10-man possessed unit seems pretty dirty. If it seems a bit quite of an fiddle, the Renegade Raiders, which are probably the Red Corsairs detachment, throws caution to the wind by giving their guns the assault ability. You can avoid losing out on firepower while charging down the barrels of the Imperial defense line as your Raiders and Reavers advance towards the enemy. Reckless abandon. Nice. So detachment rule: Masters of Misdirection. In the declared battle formation step, you can select a number of Legionnaires and Cultist mob units. Okay. Any number of Legionnaires and Cultist mob units. So only Legionnaires and Cultist mobs. But I mean, you could have a literally 20-man blob stretch across the entire front of the battlefield, I guess, as a infiltrate. So I guess that's pretty cool. That'll stop world eaters in their place. Any character units attached to them. Cool. Excluding epic here, so Abaddon can't start in front of the opponent. Have the infiltrator's ability. The maximum number of units that can weigh depends on the battle size. So 2,000, you're going to get up to 3. Oh shit. Up to 3 units of Legionnaires and up to 3 units of Chaos. The entire army is starting freaking 9 inches away from the opponent. Holy crap. Wow. Detachment rule. Wow, that's insane. Detachment rule. Range. Wow, I really want to practice that just to throw them on the table. So the detachment rule. Ranged weapons equipped by Heretic Astartes models, which I think is everybody, unless Damned doesn't get Heretic Astartes, have the assault ability. And each time the Heretic Astartes model from your army makes an attack that targets the unit in range of an objective marker, improve the armor. Wow, improve the armor pattern by 1. So it's basically just a free Chaos Sorcerer ability if they're on an objective, which most of the time they're going to be on objective. If you, I guess, turn 1, they're only really on their home field objective. So unless you can get line of sight on their home field objective, it's not going to really come into play turn 1, especially starting everybody on the board and moving forward. It might come into play if they do Chosen Battleground or what's the one where you make objectives, like that might come into play, but the turn 1 assault's not really going to be huge when it comes to getting the +1 AP on objectives. Not a lot of people are going to be on objectives, but you get assault. So literally you're starting 9 inches away from the opponent, and then you're just advancing forward with everybody and then assaulting everybody. Now, Legionnaires don't have the best guns. It's just bolters and maybe a last cannon and a melta gun or a plasma, whatever it may be, but they're all AP1 if they're on objective, and you get to advance really close and get that go. The dear Warhammer community, my pathetic morals, cultists are an embarrassment at War Council, and the other Chaos Lords laugh at me. How can I make this better? All right, so what do we got? We've all been there. Luckily, the Chaos Cult detachment has plenty of tools for turning weedy devouts. So the detachment rule allows your damned units, which I guess are cultists now, shows their desperate devotion by racing into battle. It's perfect for getting their relatively fragile hordes into close combat while they can tie up enemy firepower. Few dead mortals along the way as a price of victory. Okay, so once you sacrifice a few models in order to become the great enhancement that boosts the ferocity of the survivors, coupled by infernal sacrifice stratagem. Infernal Sacrifice can turn regular cultists into outright murder machines, each swinging 4 times at strength 5. Hilarious for catching out overconfident foes. Wow. This cult is going up to strength 5. Sure. So, Chaos Cult Desperate Devotion. This is what we got. Each time a damned unit from your army with Dark Pack's ability is selected to make a normal or advanced move or declare charge, so anytime, doesn't count as fallback, excluding units that arrive from reserves this turn. It can make a Desperate Pact, see below. Desperate Pact. If it does, until the end of the phase, add 2 to the move characteristic of models in the unit, add 2 to the charge rolls. Oh, wow. Okay, so speed 8 and then +2 to charge. Doesn't work coming out of reserves, but these guys are freaking insane running forward. Maybe you can advance and charge. Each time a unit makes a Desperate Pact, it must first take a leadership test. If the test fails, the unit takes D3 mortals before any effects Desperate Pact are resolved. So you do the Desperate Pact prior to doing the advance and move and stuff. So before it was after, now it's before. Incendiary Goad. Dark Apostle or Damned model only. Dark Apostle or Damned model only. While the bear's unit is below its starting strength, so 1 guy dies, add 1 of the strength characteristics of the melee weapons equipped by the damned models. While below half strength, add 1 of the attack characteristics of those models as well. Okay. Infernal Sacrifice, fight phase. 1 damned unit from your army that is not selected to fight this phase. Your unit can make a Desperate Pact. If it does, your unit suffers D3 mortal wounds in addition to any effect fail. Okay, so you can go kill up to 6 guys for this 1 CP. Until the end of the phase, add one of the attack characteristics of models in melee equipped by models in your unit. If your unit did not fail the resulting leadership test, I'm making desperate pact. So if you have like a Dark Apostle, it's leadership 5, so most likely you're not going to fail that or kill models, but you still have to take D3 for that. Improve the strength characteristic, so that's how you get up to 4 attacks. So you have to be at half strength, and you have to use this 1 CP to get 4 attacks. So you're gonna have 2 attacks. You might get up to 3 attacks for free, and then 5 strength with this. 6 strength, I guess. No, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 3, 4, 5. So it needs a lot to happen for this. I thought it was just like instant, but this needs to have models dead, pass a test, and be at half strength to get all that above. Which at that point you're basically losing attacks anyway. So if you go from a 20-man to, let's say, if you have the Dark Apostle with 2 extra people, that's half strength is 10. 11, you're at 13, so you started at 23. You have to be at 11. So you have to beat 11 guys for this to happen. So you have Dark Apostle, his 2 people that probably would die, and then 10 cultists. So you got 40 attacks. 40 attacks with cultists, hitting on probably 4s. Not sure if you get any rerolls. It's not. This doesn't look the best. I'm gonna say that now. It's not crazy. Oh my god, this is broken. Cool. So that's that. Absolutely. And Slaves Darkness Detachment is returning for the index. Pact Bound Zealots. The new Veterans of the Longwar Detachment also leans into supporting your warband with rules that harken back to the origins of discipline and Space Marines, namely being pretty good at bringing down just about anything. Cool. So the Black Crusade is a 1 CP stratagem. When in your movement phase, 1 Heretic Star's infantry unit or Heretic Star's mounted unit from your army, excluding damned units. Okay, so cultists are just getting shafted. Until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to shoot in turn in which it advanced or fell back. And bolt pistols, bolt guns, and combi bolters equipped by models and units have the devastating wounds. Holy shit. Ability. While your unit has not already inflicted 6 wounds this turn using that ability. What? Oh, so max 6. Got it. So until the end of the turn, so you can't charge. You basically just fall back and shooting? Unit is eligible to shoot in the turn in which it advanced. So advance and shoot. Fall back and shoot. And only pistols, bolt guns, and combi bolters, which are really good for bikes. So maybe a 10-man bike unit or a 9-man bike unit like it was before could be pretty deadly. So for 1 CP, it's not bad. Full rerolls, exploding potentially, doing just 6 mortal wounds from the devastating. While your unit has not already inflicted 6 wounds this turn using that ability. Yeah, so I think just 6 max. So that's pretty cool. Let the Galaxy Burn. Your shooting phase. That's moving. Okay, so your shooting phase. 1 Heretic Astartes unit from your army, excluding Tzeentch units that are not been selected to shoot. Okay. Until the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by models in that unit have the ignore cover ability. Wow. And change the attack characteristics of turret weapons equipped by models in the unit to 6. Wow. Okay. So Tzeentch doesn't matter. That was automatically wounding on 5s, but you hit automatically with turret weapons. So all your turret weapons with a unit. Now, what has a ton of flamers in Chaos Space Marines? Not sure, but they're automatically 6. Heldrake? Heldrake already ignores cover, but I guess you're not really using it for that. You're basically using it for the ignore cover. Like, let's say you have a blitz shooting in, and they have the out of line of sight shooting and they get cover, but now you could spend that 1 CP and the AP2 shots that go in are now ignoring cover. So it's basically just all AP2, strength 8, D3, D6 blast. I forget what it was. But that's pretty cool. So just having the ability to ignore cover. Black Crusade Stratagem, for example, gives the Chaos Space Marines focus needed a quick march drop back from close combat. Yeah, so you can't charge now, which kind of sucks. That was a huge benefit, being able to fall back, shoot, and charge. But you can still fall back and shoot, which is doing an action. So you can fall back and shoot, fall back, do an action. So it still gives you somewhat of a secondary potential. Combine that with Let the Galaxy Burn Stratagem. Yes, we know which War Masters name these. And you'll strip away their cover to boost your flamers. So there's no hiding from the storm, bolters, and fire. Sweet. Dear Warhammer community, I'm a very strong cool Chaos Lord. Nice. So the cool Chaos Lord got some really cool stuff to him. What do we got? Fellhammer Siege Host. Heretic studies infantry models only. The bearer's weapons have the anti-vehicle 4+ and anti-fortification 4. Okay, that's the first time fortification thing in there. So what army's coming out with a fortification that's going to be super deadly, that we're really going to care about? I don't know, maybe the ground's really good now, but anti-fortification 4 and anti-vehicle, guys, go good into vehicles. Devastating wounds, possessed. So possessed with devastating wounds and anti-vehicle 4+. That is kind of insane. That's an enhancement though. So is it model only the bearer's weapons? Okay, so it's only the bearer, not the unit. So I talked too fast about that one. If you're kind of lord, yeah, this guy looks freaking insane. I can't wait to get him. Strap a jump pack and get struck by terrifying dread talons detachment. Set of warp fueled thrusters will keep you from having stick around. Yeah, so this is really cool. You basically charge in, kill something at the end of your opponent's turn. You can fly off the board and come back down. So jump pack Chaos Lord model only at the end of your opponent's turn. If the bearer's unit is not within engagement range of one or more enemy units, you can remove the bearer's unit from the battlefield, place it in the strategic reserve. So if you start these guys on the table, fucking Night Lords, like that is so cool. If you start these guys on the table, turn 1 you can remove them from the table. Now you can't come back down because they're in strategic reserve, so you can't do that till turn 2. But let's say they hop up and either kill something or hop up and move up and do an action, and then after your opponent, let's say they went first, they then come back on turn top of 2, they come off the board, and on your turn 2 bottom, they can come back down and do something. So you could also rapid ingress them as well. So turn 1, they come off the board, and then turn top of 2, once they end their movement phase, you can rapid ingress them back down.
We'll just do it live, yeah.
All right, cool. So we got keevil literally just calling mid video. So keevil, what do you want to go over with this chaos stuff?
Well, I mean, I quickly looked at it. I was in the gym this morning and I saw the link. So I mean right off the bat, I think the Chaos Lord with jump pack, I think he can go with Warp Talons.
Yep.
And he can come off the board at the end of your opponent's turn. Is that how it works?
Yes.
I looked at it real fast.
Yeah, so it says at the end of your opponent's turn. So even on turn 1, they can come up, and I literally was just talking about this. So turn 1, they can come up. Let's say you go second. Top of 2 on your opponent's turn, they can come back down rapid ingress.
Yeah. No, I mean that makes so okay, so it's a couple of things. One, like, yes, that does increase the lethality and capability of Warp Talons, but
it's every turn.
I get it. So, like, yes, it does turn into a better version of bikes, right? Maybe, okay, so it's 2 routes. One, are you going to go more like, because, okay, so I've been using Warp Talons right now, not necessarily as a single unit to go do a thing. now yesterday in our game, like the situation just presented itself, and that was their role. However, typically I've been running them in conjunction with either a Legionnaire squad or a Chosen squad led by a Lord to basically punch way up and deal with fights first or deal with fight on death. And so I did that in one of the other battle reports I made against Black Templars, where the War Talents rapid ingress in, they move up, they charge first, they tag everything, and then my Lord or my heavy hitting damage dealing unit, they go in, and I only tag one or two of the enemy unit. So on their fight back or even their fight first, it's like there's negligible damage going into what I care about. So that's how I've currently been using them. I'm wondering, does what is the profile on the Jump Lord? Like, does he have if he has a Demon Hammer, then I mean, that, and I think he will, but or I don't know, but like.
So imagine him having a Demon Hammer with anti-vehicle 4+.
Right, so that Warp Talon unit now just went from, at least in my mind, the way I use it, from more of like a support role, they can now become they're just as good as an offensive missile as Lords and Legionnaires or Lords and Chosen were previously. So I guess that's kind of my initial thoughts. I'm fairly certain the Warp Talent profile will probably remain the same as far as 5-2-1 twin linked.
Yeah.
Now, but right, like the thing that made them excellent at dealing with trash or MEQ is the Slaanesh keyword. So did they talk about how any of that is changing?
So they didn't mention anything about Slaanesh, any of the marks, anything like that. They did say that Damned is cultist now.
All cultists or just a cursed cultist?
No, I think all cultists.
Okay.
And one of the enhancements / detachment rules, it's not the best. I was just going over it. The Alpha Legion look hilariously fun. Basically, Masters of Misdirection. They can start up to 3 Legionnaire units and up to 3 cultist mobs as... What's the thing where you start forward?
Infiltrate?
Yes.
Shit.
So 6, basically you can have 30 Legionnaires and 60 cultists infiltrate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then all range weapons have assault.
Yeah, I did see that.
And if they're on an objective, AP1.
Yeah. That is sick too. Which is, I think that's super awesome. I don't know if you've read any Alpha Legion books. I've only read one, but basically,
Alfarius.
What's that?
Alfarius, that book.
No, it was so it's within the Horus Harris series, and essentially, you know who John Grammaticus is? So John Grammaticus is like this super interesting character throughout the Horus Heresy, and I don't know what happened to him at the end. And again, I started the first 5 books because I wanted to get to Isvan 3 and 5. I wanted to know what happened there, and then after the the Word Bearers book, I was like, which was great. The ending was sad when Argoltal turns into a possessed.
All right, spoilers.
I started kind of jumping around. Anyway, I think it's called, I want to say it's just called Legion. But anyway, basically, so John Grammaticus is this, side character, but he essentially was reached out to by, what are they called? They're like an offshoot of the Eldar. And essentially, or some other super old... culture, and man, I forget their name. I want to say it's not the Enclave, that's Fallout. Whatever. Anyway, so he's reached out, and they were basically like, hey, they basically presented, if Horus wins, everything's gonna be bad. So like Horus needs to lose or something like that, right? So his role in that story, like while he appears to be like he is the protagonist in that story, he's just like this. In my mind, he's like an Indiana Jones type of dude who just like has just been around the block or the universe, right? Just doing different things. I think he's a perpetual, like I think, or it's one of those things where like he has died and come back, something like that. But anyway, Alpha Legion. So like, and basically these people are like, hey, John, like you need to reach out to this Alpha Legion group. So that kind of builds the whole story of like, are Alpha Legion actually bad? Like, or were they pretending to be heretics in order to help the greater good, right? So that's like the super interesting thing about Alpha Legion. What I think is even cooler about this infiltrate ability with Legionnaires and cultists is like that is essentially from that book, right? So like they also talk about this Alpha Legion Legionnaire, like motherfuckers like in robes, right? Like he's trying to hide as like a regular person, but I mean a Space Marine's like 8 feet tall anyway. And so like there's this one pretty cool scene where the Alpha Legionnaire like makes him known to Grammaticus, and he's like like this big ass dude in robes, like but like wielding a bolter or whatever. But anyway, like again, their whole thing is true like subversion, where they go in and they basically it's like counterinsurgency operations, right? Like they go in, they basically make liaison with a partner force, and they get the partner force to like do the fighting for them, which is what we've been doing in history, in reality, like in warfare. So I think that's super cool and like super lore accurate to Alpha Legion, like way more than in the previous editions.
So now Dark Pact is basically only for one specific detachment, correct?
So I'll be honest, I was just kind of perusing through. I saw the Jump Lord thing, and then I needed to finish my list, and then I showered and I'm jumping into work. But
so the last thing about this is, besides that, I mean, I'm thinking if you could do Fellhammer Siege Host, which is the Iron Artifice, that could go on the Jump Pack Lord, like the regular one. And then that unit could basically be your anti-vehicle unit, like Meltas, all that stuff. With the anti-vehicle 4+, like the fucking Demon Hammer 3 damage, devastating wounds, like that could do potentially 6 to 12 damage to a vehicle. But the warp-fueled thrusters for the enhancement for the warp talons, that's going to be used more for like the secondary ability and rapid ingress and stuff like that.
Right.
So you put that on there, but you could also do Talisman of Burning Blood, I think in the same detachment. So that still is Khorne model. So you could have one Chaos Lord be a Khorne Warp Talon with Talisman of Burning Blood. It adds 1 to the attack and strength characteristic of bearer's melee weapons. Each time the bearer makes a Dark Pact. So I guess the Dark Pact are still for everybody, because this is an enhancement in a different attachment, unless this is the same Black Crusade detachment. Yeah, never mind. It might be the same detachment. My bad. So if it's in that detachment, basically you do a Dark Pact. But then it says, when the bearer's unit makes a Dark Pact and does not fail the resulting leadership test, does that mean that you have to make a Dark Pact and then a leadership test, or just a Dark Pact and don't fail?
Read it again.
So the unit makes a Dark Pact and does not fail the resulting leadership test.
Yeah, to me that sounds like one roll. So basically the way it is now, like for your Dark Pact to go off, you need to pass the leadership of the model.
Yeah. And roll 1d3 at the end of the phase. Add the result, the attack and strength character. So basically, you can go up to add 1 to the attack and strength. So basically, you're strength 5, go up to strength 6 automatically. So then you go up to strength 6 to 7, 8, or 9. So strength 7 to 9 every single turn, and then you have 6. If he starts with 5 attacks, he might start with more, but let's say he starts with 5 attacks. You have 7 to 9 attacks. So 7 to 9 attacks, strength 7 to 9 on his strength. He would just be murdering infantry. No, nothing crazy. Or you just put that on a Chaos Lord with a hammer and go ham.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because the once per game Lord ability, it's +1 to +1 strength, AP, damage. So that's already 8, 9, you know. But I mean, again, like, so it, like, yes, as a singular thing, that sounds cool, but it really just depends on what they change with marks, and then also does everyone get the marks in addition to the detachment rule, or I'm sorry, the Dark Pact, or is the Dark Pact just a right? Like, because if they're having all these different detachments, does like the style or what the benefit of the Dark Pact change? I could see something like, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but like it would be cool if that stays the same, because that's just such a good capability of having access to lethal or sustained on everybody.
So I think it does, because when you look at Custodes, they have Katalas. So Katalas are the entire Codex. So Chaos would be Dark Pact, the entire Codex. Dark Pact. Right?
Right. But what I'm hoping is it doesn't turn into, like, you can only get lethals on certain things, or you can only get sustained on certain, you see what I'm saying? Like, if they split that up versus that before is a certain mark, it just like enhances it based off of the Dark Pact. I don't know. Because I saw some, like, look at the stratagems. I did see that. It's like excluding Tzeentch models. What are the 2 stratagems they talked about?
One is ignore cover, and your flamers go to auto 6.
Yeah, but for excluding Tzeentch models.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, excluding Tzeentch units. So you probably still, I don't know if it's automatically there. Like, if they auto assign marks like they did with Abaddon. Like, Abaddon's undivided. So
yeah,
I mean, it can't be, because if you have a Legionnaire unit, you don't know which one they are. So you probably still get to pick somewhat. But let's say you have a Tzeentch character, I guess, for example. They can't do it. So I guess, yeah, honestly, I don't know. I mean, it seemed okay. I was talking about, like, you basically have a 1 CP strat to ignore cover. So I was talking about a Blitz, where, let's say they're Nurgle and they wanted to do explosions on 5s with full rerolls. Basically, you're going to get a shit ton of attacks, then you spend 1 CP, and then they ignore cover if they still shoot out of line of sight.
Right.
That's going to be insane.
Well, it depends on how expensive oblets are, and from my understanding, you know, the points, well, okay, should be don't make honey. The points should be the same with this current Minotaurum field manual, and then this Codex being released. I mean, should be. I know, didn't they mess that up with Tau or something? Yeah. Isn't that the joke, right? Like, Tau don't even know what their points are.
Yeah, Tal's Codex was like way off, and then I think Custodes was. I don't think Custodes even have points in their Codex. They might. I haven't flipped that far back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's probably gonna be similar, like with this new point decrease, just because they probably lost a lot of abilities. That's why they lowered a lot of points.
Right.
But dude, I can't imagine the jump pack lords with the Masters of Misdirection with bikes. Like, there's gonna be so much movement shenanigans, like, the entire game.
Well,
I'm thinking you put one full 20-man blob of cultists in front of your opponent's line, so it's gonna stop World Eaters like instantly. But you put one 20-man blob on one objective. You put another 20-man blob on the other objective. You put a Legionnaire blob right next to them, another Legionnaire blob right next to them. So basically, you have 4 units on 2 objectives, turn 1, just waiting for your opponent. Like, this should get a ton of setup and shit turn one, and then you have like cultists, another unit of cultists in the center to move, block, and just stop them from leaving the deployment zone.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane. Like, think about like the new orcs coming out. Like, talk about a way to like. I mean, dude, like, it was bad enough hitting people in their deployment zones with like 6 Nurglings and 5 Seekers.
Yeah.
Like, you're putting an insane amount of like bodies just to go through. I do like how, like, this edition they've really been forcing like more movement things, which just keep the game like very. I mean, it they can be very interesting, right? Like, you can be moving all over the place and doing things, or even like our game last night. Like, I'm not necessarily thinking about where you currently are. I have to be thinking of where you could be
Great.
and setting everything up, unfortunately for your turn in every single one of my turns.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did see the other one. It's like, I don't know why they keep putting the fortification thing in there. It's like,
that was funny.
Dude, it's a dead thing for the last, 4 years, like, for the Iron Warrior, like, equivalent.
Yeah.
Now, if it's anti-vehicle 4+, is that all the weapons for everybody?
No, just that model.
Oh.
That's what I was saying, like, the Demon Hammer would be really good with it.
Yeah.
Because you hit on, I don't know, 2s or 3s, and then you auto wound on 4s, but it's devastating wounds.
Yeah, that'd be like a pretty cool. I could see 2x5. I'm actually gonna proxy, because I'm not buying the Battle Force set because I basically have everything.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna build 2 Jump Pack Lords. I can see 2 Jump Pack Lords with Warp Talons. And the other thing I was thinking about is, okay, so it's like flamers. Like, what flamers do we have? Bikes?
That's what I actually was thinking about.
Yes.
Because I mean, there is a stratagem in Black Crusade. It basically lets you, until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to shoot the turn in which it advanced. So your bikes advancing and shooting, with their bolt guns, bolt pistols, and combi bolters, they gain devastating wounds up to a max of 6.
Okay.
So, like, maybe bikes might be pretty deadly with that 1 CP. But the Flamers one is right below that, where it just says that they ignore cover, which they already do, so it's not going to combine good with the Flamers. But the Flamers' turret weapons do go automatically to 6. So you'd get, 18 automatic shots from 3 bikes?
Yeah.
Which could mow down some freaking cultists, on the other side for screening units.
Yeah.
So, again, it's really bikes. It's Helldrake, but that's only, 1 or 2 Flamers. The Helldrake should have been reduced.
The Helldrake's 105 points, man.
Yeah, it should have been went down to like 165 or something. Yeah, so I don't know what else we have that has turret weapons that are going to be insane. I mean, Havocs, can they bring heavy flamers?
No, it's just las cannon, auto cannon, Reaper, chain cannon, and missiles. I mean, the sergeant can carry a flamer, but I mean, you're not,
Yeah. So that one I got to look into after this to see what the hell we can do for flamers. But yeah, because you only have 2 flamers on a cultist blob as well. So
yeah, and I mean, for warp talents, you can only take 2 flamers for every 5 guys. So unless they
Raptors.
Yeah, Raptors. Yeah.
Yeah, again, you might just be using it for the ignore cover,
Yeah.
Like, hey, they have an entire Termi brick in cover. You're just going to spend 1 CP, and now your AP2 or even, AP2 weapons are actually going to do something.
Yeah, well, I mean, what? But then the AP2 weapon's going to be plasma.
Well, let's say you shoot your fucking Vindicator or autocannon into my Terminators, which I could spend Armor Contempt, which get me down to a 3-up save, and then I could do Cover, which gets me down to a 2-up save. Now I would be back up to a 3-up save, or if it's a Vindicator, back up to a 4-up save. So it's like it has its dues, I think.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, the ignoring cover, and that is that a what detachment's that for?
That's for the main one, the Black Crusade.
And what's the Black Crusade like detachment rule?
Veterans of the Long War. It doesn't say.
Okay.
It just gives us the new Veterans of the Long War detachment. Yeah, so it's just giving us 2 stratagems in that detachment.
Right.
But
interesting. Well, what else is in there?
that's it. That was the last thing. The Talisman of Burning Blood.
Okay.
So
yeah, I mean,
I'm excited for the fucking Master of Misdirection. That's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. As far as like
The entire army can advance and shoot.
Yeah, that's sick. Isn't there a Space Marine detachment that could do that?
Yeah. That's what Sasha played against me at the tournament. So basically all of his guys were in front of my face. Like he had 60 Marines. Not even infiltrate. So can't imagine infiltrating 30 dudes, but he had 60 Marines. They all combat squatted. They were all in rhinos. They all basically advanced up or moved up, got out, and then shot. And the next turn they all advanced up and shot again. It was crazy.
That's like an insane. I mean, dude, you're wiping out a ton of trash. You're move blocking people in. Like, it's gonna be awful going into that.
Yeah.
If they get first turn.
Yeah, I mean, just sitting on 3 objectives every single turn and stopping them for at least 2 to 3 turns, that you already won. Like you won on primary.
Well, I tell you what, like, so okay, if you're playing the counter and you're not playing that detachment, like, dude, you have to take 3 Nurglings. And then it's going to be an infiltrate game within a game.
Yeah. Yep.
My goodness, dude.
Should be fun. Can't wait for this vid. So, all right, bro, I will let you go, and then I'm going to finish up this vid for everybody. All right, so that is basically everything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the call with Mike, just talking, bullshit about chaos. There was something at the bottom which we did miss. It basically talks about Vashdor being a part of Soul Forged Warpack detachment. I'm curious if you can add that detachment to any detachment, because it says who tune up monsters, vehicles of Vashdor, contracts, and demon vehicles argument. So we have this answer. The detachments mentioned above are also joined by Soul Forge War Pack detachment. So maybe that's a separate attachment, or you can add that attachment with this detachment. Who the hell knows? But if they make Vashdor great again, that would be cool. I said if you can loan up within 3 inches of vehicle, just like any Tech Marine has, that would make him playable. Right now, he's just not playable at all. So boosting up some demon vehicles should be fun if he's on the table, and bring back our what are they? The Disco Lords. Disco Lords they're such cool models, and you took them away from us. Please bring them back. Even enhancement gives unit scout move 6 for some pregame movements. That might be in the detachment for the Alpha Legion. So imagine having a strike force that can start up 9 inches away from the deployment zone, and then you can scout move either forward or backward as long as you stay 9 inches away from an enemy. That's gonna be fun. Like this is gonna be super fun. I can't wait to play this one. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you liked, didn't like, how we can improve on the channel, what you're super excited about most for the chaos coming up. Head over to Discord, hit the subscribe, do the YouTube shit. If you guys are interested in coaching, we have the Dirtbag Nation coaches up to help out with list ideas, tactics, battle reports for Grandmasters, anything you guys need. We're basically just trying to be in your corner. It's always good to have somebody that plays the game religiously all over the country. I would say as a competitive player, top notch, in your corner at all times. That's basically what the Dirtbag Nation is for. And guys, we're $8 away from hitting that $1,000 goal for Patreons to give away a shit ton of stuff for you guys. So guys, appreciate it. Good luck, and we'll see you in another video soon. What's up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are thinking about joining the Patreon page, we're going to go over each tier and how it's going to benefit you and what you're looking for specifically to get out of 40k in 10th edition coming up. There's a lot of stuff to go over. There's a lot of tactical videos up on the channel, which is for free. There's going to be a bunch of perks that you get specifically for being a part of the Dirtbag Nation Patreon page. So first off, we have the first tier, which is $1 a month. You guys get first access to the videos over at patreon.com. You also get access to the Discord, which is specifically a private link in the Discord that only Patreon members can see. So you guys will have first access to that. Also a benefit is Patreons over the Dirtbag Nation get live streamed games on patreon.com streamed from YouTube, but there's only links specifically for the patreons.com. So not only do you get first access to these videos, you also get to see live stream games specifically only on patreon.com. The next tier is the Justicar. You guys get a shout out on every single video on YouTube. You also get to support us a little bit more. You get first dibs at voting on Discord, as well as you just kind of say, hey, I just want to be a Justicar Dirtbag and support you guys a little bit more than that $1 a month here. But you get all the same access as well as the different color over on the Discord. So the third tier is the competitive Dirtbag. This tier, you get a lot more one-on-one coaching. This is a lot of the Dirtbags over on the Dirtbag Nation. They are able to send out messages one-on-one, go over list ideas, tactics, anything you guys want to talk about. When I was getting into 40k, or really any game in general, I always wanted to message the top players in the meta and just ask them questions. This $10 a month tier gets you that opportunity to message us one-on-one on Discord, so that way we can actually coach you, give you our insights, suggestions, and that's going to get you better at the 40k 10th edition as a whole. So that tier alone, just $10 a month to have one-on-one coaching, one-on-one messages anytime throughout the month, that's going to be a perfect tier for you guys. Even if you're brand new to the game, we go over 1,000-point list, 1,500-point list, 2,000-point brand new starting list, team list, anything you guys need. That's what the competitive Dirtbag tier is for. Also, you get a little bit red number name tag on Discord, so people know that you're really serious about getting into the competitive scene. The Grandmaster Dirtbags. This is the all-in-all $25 a month tier. You get one-on-one coaching, everything we said prior to this, but you guys get to see me, Mike, any of the other Dirtbags play your specific list that you want to see tested out live on one of our battle reports. You guys get to mention, suggest videos you guys want to see coming up on patreon.com. So you guys get the above first tier benefit of everything that we do over at Dirtbag Nation. All the support mainly comes from you guys supporting us over here at Dirtbag Nation. And Grandmasters, I can't thank you enough, but for $25 a month, you get one-on-one coaching and anything you want to see live on the tabletop. So you get to see a professional play right in front of you. You guys get to kind of like see it one-on-one, and I'm actually making this specifically for you. There's also TTS events that you guys can suggest. If you guys want to do a first 1 or 2 turn run through on TTS, we can actually log in and coach you one-on-one with that. If you guys see us at any GTs, you guys get special benefits, free dice, stuff like that. Anytime you purchase a merch thing on Discord, you guys get a free limited edition Dirtbag dice sent to you with every single purchase on top of that. So there's a lot of benefits coming up with the Grandmaster Dirtbag. You guys, I can't thank you enough for supporting us. Definitely let me know which tier would be best for you if you go over to patreon.com and specifically go to a tier. And make sure you don't forget to message me up on Discord. That's where we check every single day. If you guys are really into getting into 10th edition 40k, head over to Patreon, join the competitive Dirtbag or the Grandmaster. Message me as many times as you possibly want, and I'll coach you the best I possibly can on any specific army that you guys play. Mainly our armies right now, currently, going into 2024, is going to be Chaos Space Marines, Grey Knights, Death Guard, and then we have Custodes, Sisters, and I think that's it going into the Wings of 2024. But again, any other army that you guys play, we have other coaches lined up for the Dirtbags that are ready to take on that role of the competitive Dirtbag page. So guys, really appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for joining the Dirtbag Nation if you guys are already part of us. And we'll see you in another video soon.